Ah, yeah, ding dong, bing bong, tick tock. What you got going down? Hey, welcome to another episode of Sober Not Sober, aka Beyond Sober. Dude, what are you doing, dude? You just kicking it? You making magic happen? Just so you know, we are recording live here on TikTok. It is a lovely, dark. Oop, didn't mean to push that button. Afternoon here in Michigan. I'm super duper stoked. Oh my goodness, Kate Zilla's in the building and Elizabeth. What are you doing, girl? Hey, I'm so stoked to be working with you. I'm so stoked that you're back on the calendar. I am beyond humbled that you've chosen me as your coach, and I love working with you. So stoked, man. It is. I'm just. Oh my goodness gracious! I was just outside for a few minutes. I was like, it's a little bit nipply, dude. The lake's going crazy. It's freezing, I had to put on like numerous layers, man. You're happy you don't drink anymore, Steven? Dude, I'm stoked that you don't drink anymore, man. Actually, a majority of the planet is stoked that you don't drink anymore. Here's the trip, dude. Alcohol doesn't add any value to anybody's life, dude, at all. At all. You're not going to gain anything from it. You may find yourself in like unique experiences and whatnot, but the reality with this is that it's not even supposed to be in our body. And we're all kind of conditioned to go like, hey, well, a little bit won't hurt. Well, what's a little bit more than just a little bit? What's better than bad? You know what I'm saying? And we just keep kind of like raising our tolerance and finding more and more reasons why it's not as bad as we think it is. As a matter of fact, a few minutes ago, I just stitched a video of a doctor. And this guy is, I believe he's a doctor, but this guy shares a lot of information about the body. He's like, hey, I hate to break it to you, but there's no such thing as a healthy amount of alcohol. You know that stuff you're putting in your body? It's ethanol. Do you know what ethanol is? Ethanol is a type of gasoline. It combusts. It's what you put in your car. It's what you use in combustible engines. It's the ethanol that makes things like flammable, right? Combustible. And we are all conditioned as a society to go like, hey, guess how much gasoline I could drink without dying? I get it. I understand it, dude. I'm an ex-alcoholic liver failure survivor, dude. I've been dead. My heart stopped. I was throwing up blood. I've worked with thousands of people one-on-one with hundreds of amazing human beings, just like Anne right here. I talk a lot about Anne, just so you know, she doesn't have a problem with alcohol or anything like that. She's next level. She grows. She's far beyond alcohol, which is the whole point of the program that I work so hard on all day, every single day, called Beyond Sober. I don't want people sober. Sober people suck, and this is the reality. Most people suck to some degree, and I don't say this as an insult. It's just most people don't know how to be happy. They think that happiness is conditional and transactional. They think that they have to do a certain amount of things before they deserve a certain amount of happiness. They think that conditions have to be absolutely perfect before they find a reason why they're allowed to be happy. Sober doesn't guarantee anything. You got to keep in mind if you were miserable before drinking, you're going to be just as miserable not drinking. You're going back to having the opportunity to build a life that's not boring, that's not crappy, that you actually enjoy, a mind that you enjoy thinking with, doing things that actually contribute to your state of happiness or have the potential of adding value to your life. So when we look at these things, we go, but isn't that the reason I started drinking? Didn't my I wanted to add more value. I wanted to have more experiences. I wanted to do new things. I wanted to lower my standards. I wanted to feel more funny. I wanted to get involved. I wanted my anxiety to dissipate. If I could do those things, then don't you think I'd be living a more valuable and expansive life experience? If the anxiety's gone or I'm not aware of it, I must be doing pretty good as a human being, right? It means I might do that thing or I might write that letter or say hi to that person or go to that event if my anxiety is gone. This is where we go, yeah, that makes sense when you do it on your own. But when we're constantly relying on a neurotoxin to flood our brain, so we're distracted from that anxiety that needs our attention, we're creating a dependency. That's the horrible part about alcohol. But some of us just go, a little won't hurt, but a little bit today and a little bit today and a little bit today. Jessica, you've been struggling so much. I hate it. You're not supposed to like really enjoy struggling. That's why it's called struggling. But there is a difference between struggling in place and struggling forward. So this is where the struggle starts to shift just a little bit. When you're struggling in place, this is kind of what it feels like. I drank the water. I went for the walk. I meditated. I ate better food. I'm going to the gym, and nothing's different. Nothing's different. Nothing magical is happening. My future still looks the same. I still hate that person. I still hate myself. My insecurities are still there. It's like no matter what I do, everything remains the same. Yes, I might not feel so bad a lot of the time, but I also don't feel really good at all. There's nothing astronomical about what I'm doing that's changing my life or my perception of my life to such a degree where I feel like I'm actually moving forward. I kind of feel like all these things I'm doing are just distracting me from other things that are even better for me. That's what struggling in place feels like. And then sometimes we do that for so long, we just go, dude, if I'm going to feel like this while I'm putting in extra energy, I might as well just drink because then I'm not aware of that perceived loss of energy. At least I don't care that I'm not moving forward. At least I'm okay where I'm at because where I'm at is solved by having one more drink. This is the cycle. But struggling forward is a little bit different. Is when we're looking at these things and not paying so much attention to what's not working, what we don't like, what we think is not for us, lowering our expectations, and more importantly, living in these moments, dude. Listen to what I'm saying. It is very rare that you're so in the moment, this moment, the only moment that exists, and that you are absolutely miserable to such a degree that you wish you were somewhere else. It's in our perception, it's in our minds, it's in our choices that we create environments that make us wish we were somewhere else. But when we're struggling forward and we're practicing mindfulness, we are giving ourselves permission to be happy, to be here, to be now, and enjoy this moment, regardless of the circumstances. And in doing so, we find less of a reason to escape, which gives us one less reason to drink or to take a substance or to call that person you know you shouldn't be talking to. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm the worst and I have your program. I feel like I'm the worst and I have your program. Got it. So once again, having something and utilizing something is completely different. This is where I'll even say this to like an extreme degree. There are some people that work with me just so they have a reason to keep drinking. What do you mean? You're an international best-selling author written about in International Business Times. What do you mean? You've worked with thousands of people. What do you mean? You work one-on-one with hundreds. What do you mean? You this is what you do for a living all day, every day, and you're using that as an excuse to drink. It's okay, I could have one more because I have a coach. It's okay, I have one more because I have a program. It's okay that I have one more because I have a tool, I have a resource, I have a link, I have a password. There's a community that I could talk to when I'm struggling. Remember this, if we're not actually utilizing these tools, then we are creating a codependency or a subconscious enabling through those tools and with those tools. So you could sign up and do nothing. You could jump into the program, watch one video and go, it's not for me. 2 videos, kind of for me. 3 videos, not necessarily. And then you just don't do anything else. Once again, obtaining the thing isn't doing the thing. Thinking about the thing isn't doing the thing. Visualizing the thing isn't doing the thing. You know what is doing the thing? Doing the thing. Anne Elizabeth is like the bar setter in this realm. When we're working together, she's showing up with her notepad. She's got her water. She's even got her animals around, her support systems. And she's out here like face deep in what we're talking about. And she's notes. But then when we're not working together, she's actively practicing these things that we went in detail with, right? This applies to absolutely everything, whether or not you're in AA, you're in a typical 12-step program, you're in rehab, you're in detox, you're in therapy, you have a counselor, you've got a coach, you've got a program, you've got a watch, you've got an app. Once again, if we have no pure, honest intent to utilize this tool to the extent of its ability to support you and your ability to learn and practice, then it's just another thing that you get to put down, another thing that you get to rely on, another thing that you get to ignore. But here's the coolest part, Courtney. You said you feel like the worst? Good, but thank goodness it's just a feeling. You're not the worst, dude. It's just a feeling. But if you don't do anything to change the way you feel, then you're always going to find reasons why you're the worst. And it's just simply not true. I guarantee you're not the worst. Rocco, you know what I'm talking about, dude. So many notes to look back on. I know you were showing me those notes, and I was like, dang, those are so good. Your notes are like really inspire me because I'm like, oh wow, I did say that. That was awesome. Limited characters on response. I love your program, to be clear, just struggling. Courtney, I get you. No worries. It's, the whole program is specifically designed to help kind of invoke another area of your brain. It's like adults, it's like schooling for adults. The reason it's so powerful is because it's not out here to like guilt and shame you and make you feel bad and make you feel like you're not good enough, haven't done enough, aren't going to do enough, you're always going to be this, always be that. That toxic reinforcement is horrendous. Like the reason people write about the program and the reason why people get the results is because they finally feel seen and noticed and recognized and appreciated and respected, dude. You got to know this. I just put this video out. You think that because you drink and because you're struggling, there's something wrong with you, that's a sign of weakness? The addicts, alcoholics, people struggling with alcoholic or addictive behaviors are some of the most intelligent, charismatic, amazing, heartfelt, open-hearted, passionate, understanding, involved human beings. You think we pick up drinks and take substances because we don't give a shit? We care so much, it feels impossible not to. And the only way that we stop caring or jump into the illusion that it doesn't matter is if we're under the influence of a substance that's slowing our thoughts and our emotions down. Something that suppresses our nervous system, distracts us from the thousands of thoughts that we think need our attention. We don't drink because we don't care. We don't party because we don't care. We don't escape because we don't care. We do those things because we don't want to continue caring to the capacity at which we do. At what part of that does it sound like you're a problem? What part of what I just said makes it sound like there's something wrong with you? What part of what I just said makes it seem like you are the problem? You're not. All of those things, your compassion, your kindness, your empathy, your interest, your curiosity, all those things that lead you towards a drink or a substance are the same exact emotions of someone that deeply cares and matters, adds value, brings perspectives, dude, and changes the world around them, man. The only struggle here, this is the reality. Either other people aren't burdened with these emotional responses that you're struggling with, and so they have the illusion of have a happier, healthier life, or you, which is most common, just like me, don't know how to manage these things, haven't struggled in such a way where it just clicks and makes sense. So you try and you try and you try and you do this and you do that and you do another thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but nothing ever sticks. This is why, once again, just getting sober isn't good enough. Getting sober is simply this. I'm going to take away a break from hurting myself. And hopefully, in the time I'm not hurting myself, I find a reason to start healing myself. Healing is recovery, okay? Sobriety is super painful and totally pointless unless we're using it to improve our quality of life. Because listen to what I'm saying. If you had a higher quality of life, which is another way of saying a higher quality of thoughts, a higher quality of emotion, a higher quality of action, if your world was a reflection of a higher quality existence, do you seriously think that you would drink and consume the same way? For real, ask yourself that question. So is sobriety the answer, or is happiness? It's dead serious. Is sobriety the answer, or is it just the catalyst to a life you love to live? Because if you do nothing when you're not drinking, you're just going back to a world that you don't enjoy, which gives you another reason to drink. That sucks, dude. You're great. Thank you for that work, dude. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. How do you get there then? Well, happy people practice happy things. So the first thing is, if we're consuming a literal neurotoxin that's flooding our brains and making us overdose, aka drinking. You got to remember this, dude. When you're feeling fuzzy, when you're feeling interesting while you're drinking, you're under the influence of a neurotoxin. It means you are you're about to start overdosing. When you are drunk, you are in the act of overdosing on that neurotoxin. When you've blacked out, you have officially overdosed on the neurotoxin. Okay. So, in no way logically whatsoever can you go, you know what? I'm physically and emotionally capable of reaching a pure state of joy and happiness with poison in my veins. Not possible. Not physically possible. So the first step is obviously to start reducing your intake until there's nothing in there, or to quit cold turkey. And here's the trippy part. You're not going to feel ready, dude. What's up, Amanda? You're not going to feel ready. You're not going to sit there and go like, you know what? Today's the day. I've got all the power, all the will. I've got all the passion and the drive. Today, I'm never drinking again. You're going to be like, for real? My one coping mechanism that I've been using a majority of my life and the only thing that I believe brings me joy, it hurts me from time to time, but it also hugs me. I'm never going to have a relationship with that thing again? It's been with me every day. It knows me better than anybody else. Even my mom doesn't understand me the way Jack Daniels does. Tiffany does not have a clue how I feel the way Tito does. You know what I'm saying? So we have to remember this. To step into a state in which you are even remotely prepared to embrace a brain and body that you actually love, you have to start respecting yourself first. Self-respect, dude. Every single sip that we take is literally disrespecting our machine, disrespecting our brain, disrespecting our body, disrespecting our future self. Future you isn't impressed by what we're doing. They're going, dude, you could have stopped years ago, but you keep on doing it. So if we start practicing respecting ourselves by drinking less alcohol, adding a little bit more water, then we're starting to fuel our systems and practice things that start subtly improving our quality of life. Subtly, okay? In the same way that you might take a sip of alcohol, this is just water, you might take a sip of alcohol, one beer, right? And feel nothing. And then you go like, okay, I guess I need another beer. Okay, still nothing. 3 beers, still nothing. The same thing happens with water. I had 1 glass of water or 1 bottle of water. I don't feel any different. Well, I had 2 bottles of water. I don't necessarily feel bad, but I don't feel a lot different. I am going to the bathroom a lot more, though. That's annoying. But you also have less alcohol in your body, too. So there is a physiological change that's happening, but it's so subtle that you may not even realize that it's happening. This is why we drink for longevity. We drink water and take care of ourselves for the long haul. The crazy part about getting healthy is it isn't immediate. We want it now. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Dude, quit licking the walls, okay? I'm saying this to go, when you're ready for this, and you're not, but you are, you're going to have a slow introduction. That introduction is the same for every single person that's ever walked this planet. It is so easy to destroy yourself. Just take a shot. You just put poison in your body. Excuse me. See if my body knows, right? Just take a shot, right? Just have a drink. Your body immediately knows that it's not supposed to be there. But put water in it, your body goes, thank you for doing what you should have been doing for the past 20 years, dude. Thank goodness, right? As we start drinking less and consuming more water, our body starts to regulate itself or acclimate to the new patterns. And then it starts to use your water and your nutrition and your actual food as a fuel source to help you get stronger and healthier, more cognitive and more expansive. But we can't get there if we're doing healthy things while still poisoning our veins, man. It's a contradiction. It's the same kind of ways that like you can't lose fat and drink alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like your liver could break down one or the other. It could break down fat or it could break down the alcohol. Because alcohol is not supposed to be there. That's a secondary element. We're not born as humans to consume a toxin. We're just not. So your body is specifically designed to break down everything but alcohol. And so if you put alcohol in there, it's going, dude, alcohol is the foreign entity. It's the foreign agent. Of all the things in the body, there's one that needs to go. The one that's most important. The one that's causing the most amount of damage is the one your liver is focusing on. Why do you think it gets run down so much? Is because alcohol, it's hard. Your liver can only do so much. So the more alcohol you put in there, or a subtle amount of alcohol over an extended period of time, your liver is constantly running. Imagine it jogging all the time, dude. And you're like, of course you're going to get tired. Imagine if you had to run everywhere you went, all because all of your appointments are messed up. I have to run to the store because I'm late. I have to go to this appointment over here because everything's all messed up. You're supposed to be all the way over here. But by the time you get over there, you're exhausted. That's because everything in your machine, in your life, is overworking. Eventually, you're going to get burnt out. Your liver is going to get super duper tired. It's not going to process or help you get to where you need to go because it's spending a majority of its time trying to prevent you from going backwards. That is your liver in a nutshell. Oh, this is me in a nutshell. On that note, we have to look at this and go, okay, well, if the liver is the filter of our body, then the less crap we put in it, the better we're going to get out, right? 100%. Even your thoughts go through your liver, dude. But we don't really, look at it like that. We just go like, oh, well, there's a hospital. If my liver starts to hurt or whatever, I'll just go see a doctor. The people that spend the most time in the hospital die more often. We're not supposed to be in the hospital ever for any reason. How do you get my brother to stop drinking? You don't. He gets himself to stop drinking. You can pull that drink out of his hand, but he's not going to stop drinking. What are you talking about? If he doesn't want to, he just won't. Like, you could tell him and share with him how you feel, but unless he's an 8-year-old kid with a Pabst Blue Ribbon in his hand, like I was, you can't just take the drink out of him and not expect some repercussion. You remember, dude, those that drink don't drink because they just like it. It's an extension of their personality. Take the drink out of his hand, see what happens. He's going to take it personally. Why would he take it personally? Why would he get upset because you're taking a neurotoxin, a bottle of ethanol, a combustible substance, a cancer-causing agent? Why would he get upset if you just took it out of his hand? It's because he believes it's an extension of who he is. More importantly, it is stepping into the illusion of who he believes he is. Alcohol is a personality. And the crazy part about that personality is everyone has the same personality when they drink. You're no different. We're all, that's called getting on my level. We all have the exact same personality provided by the alcohol. And alcohol is a goddamn narcissist, dude. It's never going to take credit for any of your pain, but it will take praise for all of the good it kind of, facilitated for you. It won't take the blame. You can't even blame alcohol for what we did. Alcohol's gonna go, hey, I wasn't even there. It just wants to get us in trouble. It just wants to gaslight us. It just wants us to think that we're friends. It just wants us to think that it matters just as much as you do. What are you talking about? That's alcohol. Alcohol gets in the brain, basically controls the synapses, the way the brain functions, which is why it's a neurotoxin, right? Gets in there, right? It's down to a cellular level. In the same way fungus gets inside insects and starts guiding them towards water, alcohol gets in the brain and starts guiding people towards more alcohol. That's the whole point of it. This is why if we don't drink from a healthy place, we get unhealthy results. If we don't drink from a state of control, we feel out of control, which once again gives us another reason to drink. So you can tell him that, you care about him and you appreciate him and you love him, and that not only is his life going to be better, but you guys may have a better relationship simply because he decides to stop drinking. But once again, it's entirely up to him if he even considers that. Because so many people that I work with, and including myself at one point, I couldn't imagine my life without alcohol. Ever. I was just working with my homegirl. She's like, I'm not ready to stop because I don't know who I am without it. I use it to process my emotions. I use it to guide my behavior. I use it to curb my anxiety. I use it for everything. I use it to cook with. Like, every aspect of my life has some amount of alcohol in it. It makes absolute sense. So that's another way of saying I have an emotional entanglement with this poison. Hey, what's up, Emma? I know that this is bad for me, but part of me still believes that it's adding value to my life. Even though it's causing the problems, it's also solving them. So, for example, the anxiety, Savage Wolf, what's up? Even though we have anxiety, we have anxiety, we use alcohol to curb that anxiety. But alcohol is the reason we have anxiety. But you said you drink because of your anxiety, Jason. You do, right? But alcohol causes anxiety. What about your depression? Yeah, I drink alcohol for my depression. So alcohol is actively lowering your mental health, and that's improving your depression? No, it's making it worse. Oh, so you have another reason to drink. Yeah. So not only are you drinking because of your anxiety and your depression, both of those are caused by drinking a neurotoxin that's destroying your mental health. Yes. Okay, here's the cycle. This is why at that point we sit here and go like, but at least I can control the illusion of my anxiety. At least I could disconnect from the awareness of my depression. So as long as I'm under the influence or have some amount of alcohol in my body, I actually feel like I have less anxiety, less depression, and I just overall feel better. I think I have more energy too because I'm not aware of how exhausted I am. Super interesting the way these things work, man. But nobody's built different. Everyone feels these effects to some degree. Some people are going to be more open with it and go like, yeah, bro, that's exactly what I do. I am openly practicing alcoholic behavior, been struggling. Other people go like, yeah, but that's just life. No, that's just your brain, dude. You know, there's no anxiety in life, right? You know, like naturally occurring in the world, depression doesn't exist in raw form. Like you can't just go like grab some anxiety. You can't pick up a neurological condition. You can't just like, oh, look, hey, you want some happiness? It's not a thing. It is something that is generated and created. If we could generate misery, then don't you think we could generate joy and happiness, right? But how do you do that if you're under the influence of a literal carcinogen attempting to cause you 7 types of cancer? You don't. You can't. It's trying to kill you, literally. That's why over 3 million people die every single year, dude. All because they, were solving their issues with a literal neurotoxin, man. It's crazy. Alcohol postpones anxiety that multiplies it. Yeah, dude. Bing bong. Do 100%. So it doesn't necessarily postpone it. The anxiety is still there. I love that you say that because this is a very popular illusion. You're not wrong, but the way I'm going to say this is going to be a little bit different. So imagine this. Like I'm trying to think of think of it like this. Imagine there's somebody in the room with you, okay? If you're not aware that that person is in the room with you, is that person really in the room with you? I don't know. How would you know? If you can't see them, they're there, but if you can't see them, maybe they're behind you. Maybe you got blinders on. Maybe you got your hood on. Every time you turn around, there's nothing there. If you can't see them, are they in the room with you? Do you feel the same? Do you still feel like you're by yourself if you can't see the person in the room with you? The answer is yes. You are under the firm, energetic and conscious commitment that you are sitting alone in the room. And it's not until you turn around, boom, there they, oh my God, I had no idea you were here. Like, how did that happen? How long you been here? I've been here the whole time, but you just didn't turn around. The reason why we didn't see them in this scenario is because of the alcohol. The alcohol was removing your awareness to your anxiety. Your anxiety has been in the room with you this entire time, but it put the blinders on. So every time you turn around or every time you think about it, it's not getting your attention. Since it's not getting your attention and your anxiety is not there to jump scare you, you continue operating as if it's not there. But that's not true. That's not true at all. And then here's what happens. We stop drinking and then we go every time we look over here, there's the anxiety. Hey, Mimi, what's up? Thank you so much. The anxiety is over there. And then it's over there. And then is that depression? Is that more cortisol, dude? Where's the drama coming from? It's everywhere. And then we have to drink. Just, holy crap. Okay, I can see the anxiety. I can see the depression. I can see the drama, but I'm not reacting to it anymore. Why not? It's because I'm physically dampening my ability to react. That's our nervous system. So when we lower our nervous system's response or suppress it, or depress it, compress it, we can sit in an anxiety-filled room without having an emotional response, without feeling like the anxiety is there. This becomes a dependency because you continue to go back to that room every single day. That room that you go back to that's full of anxiety is your brain. You're stuck in that room. You live in that room. So if that room is just full of anxiety and the only way to get rid of it is to pretend that it's not there, and the way you pretend that it's not there is by consuming a poison, that is a cycle that is literally bound for destruction. Because eventually, here's what happens. It doesn't matter how much alcohol you drink, you still feel that anxiety. That's all because every single sip is causing more of what you don't want while providing the illusion that it's not there. Super crazy how it happens. Loretta, I see you, girl. What's going on, man? So true. Yeah, it gets your anxiety 100%. I try to write out the anxiety, but anxiety is horrible. 100%. So, Loretta, here's the trip. Here's the first thing when it comes to anxiety. Anxiety is going to happen because it's a part of life. It's your nervous system. It's supposed to help you make decisions. It's there specifically to guide your behavior. Do I like this? Do I not like this? Am I in fear? Is there something I need to worry about? Am I okay? It's really just there to get your attention. When we have a disrupted nervous system, meaning that we've never had a real chance to just sit pretty. We've never had a real chance to just breathe. We've never had a real chance to relax and sit in our own essence without the fear of something happening or without the illusion that something might happen. Then our nervous system is wrecked to a degree where you don't fall asleep. You've got the insomnia. It's hard to relax because something always needs your attention. Then you have this subliminal state or sometimes obvious state of paranoia. You're sitting here thinking that something's going to happen or could happen. More importantly, we start to prioritize our anxiety and go, even though I don't like it, I think it serves a purpose. And my question to you in this anxiety state is, can you prove, beyond a reasonable doubt, scientifically, objectively, without your opinion, without your thoughts, without emotion, that your anxiety is the reason things aren't happening? Is your anxiety to blame for why the plane didn't crash? You sitting here worrying, can you prove undeniably that is the amount of worry that you have, the pitter-patter of your heart, and the butterflies in your stomach, and those centrifugal thoughts of turmoil is the reason your kid came home last night? That the car didn't crash. Can you prove it? You can't, because no amount of anxiety is the reason for anything other than how you respond to the information. You're allowed to feel safe and comfortable and confident regardless of the circumstances. Regardless. Now keep in mind, here's a perfect example. I had to bury a dog 2 days ago. I think this was Saturday. I only met this dog once. There's 3 types of people involved in this. Now keep in mind, the dog was old. He's 16, like super great. They call him T. Beautiful dog, gorgeous, white, right? He had a stroke, man. He had a stroke and his back legs weren't working. And, you know, the owner wasn't home. So the roommate called, you know, my partner, Emily, and was like, hey, something happened to the dog. So this person is calling my partner freaking out. I don't know what to do. It's just, something's going to happen. Instead of being calm in that circumstance and recognizing where the information is and not reacting, they're lost in their own mind. And they are literally amplifying the situation. To that point, it's affecting my partner. My partner goes, oh my God, something bad just happened. We have to go. I'm sitting here going, what happened? Because I now know that 2 people are struggling emotionally and physically with just information. We haven't seen anything. We haven't touched anything. We haven't been there. We don't know anything. Because we don't know any of this stuff, and only what we've heard is a depiction of what may or may not be happening, there is zero reason for us to generate anxiety and to flip out, okay? Although this other person has taken it to a whole nother level and is exacerbating the situation, right? We get over there and the dog's doing pretty well, right? Obviously old. It's time to go, dude. Time to go, bro. your back legs aren't working anymore. You're struggling standing up. You look pretty. Your tumor's not doing too well. Bro, you're 16 years old. Remember this, dude. Every day for a dog is 7 days for a human. So 1 day for a dog is 1 week for us. This is the aging, all right? So he's 16 years old. He's way beyond his years, okay? The other part of this is going, okay, we have to put him down. They're going to do the thing. They're going to do that tomorrow. It all went beautiful. It was amazing. I wasn't there for that. I was in charge of digging the hole, okay? Euthanized. It was a beautiful experience from which they described. My point with this is I know that I'm going to meet this dog. I met him alive, and I'm going to meet this dog when he's not alive. He just passed, right? We got to put him in a hole. We got to bury him. We're doing a whole thing. It's like this beautiful experience. I know that if I flip out and go, oh my God, I'm about to see a dead dog. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Or if I'm starting to latch on to everyone else's anxiety, I'm not doing the circumstance any good. It's okay for me to feel solid and confident and grounded in a stressful moment. 111, I see it right there. And in doing so, I was able to dig this super awesome hole. We were able to create this beautiful experience for the dog, for the family, lowered it in, did the thing. We put the cross, we did the whole thing. Anxiety is there to remind us, first off, that we're alive, that we are allowed, and that there's nothing wrong with us. But if I had had a disrupted nervous system like I did for like 25 years, I'm telling you, just the thought that someone may ask me to use my man muscles to dig a hole would have freaked me out. Yeah, I'm not going to do what you guys all think I'm going to do and flip out. Yeah, I would have flipped out for sure. But the reality with this is I practice thinking on purpose. I teach this, right? How do we think objectively? How do we remove our emotions away from a thought? As a matter of fact, no thoughts have an emotion attached to it. Thoughts don't come preloaded with an emotion. We see the words, we hear the words, we recognize the words, and then we apply. If we're applying crap, anxiety, fear, depression, we are going to react autonomically or automatically with something that we don't prefer. That feeling is going to make us do something based on that perception. So it makes sense to think better thoughts. And more importantly, to want to practice thinking better thoughts. The better the thoughts we think, the better the feelings we get, the better the actions we take. That's it. This is really why preventative maintenance, conditioning your body to consume less alcohol and more water, more juice, more good stuff, more vitamins, physical fitness, getting outside, going for walks, walking the dog, all of these things create a chemical harmony in our body. So when something interesting happens like that, our body doesn't automatically step into flight mode and we start to flip out and find ways to escape. It's just a dog, dude. Beautiful dog. Amazing. I could either make that experience horrendous. Thank you, Tammy. I could make it horrendous in my own mind and that experience in my brain physically change the way I treat the people around me and the dog exactly. Or I can choose to look at the information in a unique way, in a happy way, in a peaceful way, and use that experience to bring safety to my own existence and respect life for how fragile it is. And to thank the ground and the trees for blessing us with this beautiful grave for this awesome dog and go like, you trees are going to take care of this puppy, right? I love you. You see what I'm saying? It's just information, but how you choose to take that determines your life experience. So it is not about fixing the anxiety when it shows up. It is preventing it from happening by programming your subconscious to think about the best case scenario all the time. Most of us have a wrecked nervous system because we're constantly thinking about the worst case scenario. Have you ever thought that maybe it's because of that things don't work the way you want them to? Maybe. Is that you, silly goose? Someone on TikTok just posted that. So what you've been telling me is that your whole life you've been thinking about the worst case scenario instead of the best case scenario, and that's why you have anxiety? That's silly. It totally is. But the trippy part is most of society is fear-based, okay? Don't go over here because of this. Don't drink too much of this. Don't go over here. Don't talk to them. Don't. Just all the don'ts. What about the do's, boo-boo? I want to do something. How can I do anything if I'm doting everything, right? This sucks. This is why people like latch on to alcohol. Well, if I can't do anything, I might as well just drink. That removes our ability to take care of ourselves. That sucks. Um, help me so much. I'm just listening. Thank you for doing this. Hey, Princess Bun, you're so welcome. So just so you know, if you want more of this, just go to the podcast. I'm recording this for you, of course. BeyondSoberPodcast.com. You can, if you're on TikTok, hit the link in my bio. It's Cody Rain, that's my name.com, or you can type in sober.com. You'll see Beyond Sober Podcast, all the tools and resources and everything I use to make sure that everybody has access to everything that I've got, man. Lots more stuff. I'm actually working on the blog right now. I have ebooks coming out, all kinds of stuff. I just put out 30 chapters of an ebook today. I don't stop, man. And it's not just, I'm not sitting there going like, what do I want to talk about? What makes Cody tick? I'm going, how can I create these books that are so powerful, easily accessible, totally free, and that could actually change people's lives, man? So when I'm writing chapter by chapter by chapter by chapter, dude, I'm also taking phone calls, dude, responding to emails, setting up systems, dude, holding interviews, working one-on-one with people. So everything that I say here is publicly accessible. Working with me, of course, joining programs, you want to invest in yourself and you want to find value in who you are. It takes effort to transform. And I say this because sobriety, recovery, and happiness are all free. But why do people need programs? Why do people remain miserable? Why do we just choose to manage our life instead of invest in it? Why do we choose to just like fix this never-ending problem? Thinking that in the fixing we are doing, thinking that our purpose is in constantly managing these symptoms that are caused by our perceptions. That's not life, dude. That's existing. And until we actually recognize that we are capable of designing a brain and a body and a soul and an energy that we absolutely love and drives us forward, then we're always going to feel like life is happening to us instead of for us. Ann knows what I'm talking about. El Ray, what's up, dude? Marina, how did I get to this point? That's a good question. So I was born in 1985. Okay, that's a very long story. I'll tell you a short story of how I ended up here. When the pandemic happened, I was already, that was 2000. I was already 2 years out of recovery or into recovery. So I'm an ex-alcoholic, liver failure survivor. My heart stopped, was throwing up blood, the whole deal. I've been written about all over the place. I'll be on USA Today, I think in the next like 3 weeks. I have a meeting with them tomorrow. My point with this is when the pandemic started, so late 2019, early 2020, there were a lot of kids on TikTok. This is before they started cracking down, that were practicing alcoholic behavior. They were allowing a lot of people to just chug Jameson, dude, and do shots of Fireball, tequila. They were just like letting the algorithm fly. And there was the first viral video that I put out was for the Don't Make a Face challenge. And if you've never heard of that, the Don't Make a Face challenge is take a shot of tequila or a shot of alcohol, try not to make a face. That blew up on TikTok. There was a lot of people doing it. What I did with that is I stitched it and then I showed people what that actually means, what that does. And that my liver failure, bright yellow, all of the things. And then in doing so, 4.4, now it's 4.6 million views later, thousands and thousands and thousands of people reached out to me personally and was like, I'm an alcoholic. I need help. I need to stop. There's a problem with me. My dad died. My mom died, sister, friend. I'm dying. My inbox was just flooded. And so I realized that if I have the tools and the resources, the know-how and the experience to help people, that it's my moral obligation to do so. So as a professional web developer, I designed the Beyond Sober program. And we launched it officially in 2021. I think it was February of 2021. And now thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people have taken the program. We've got thousands of graduates. More people are joining the program literally every single day because it's the opposite of AA. It is the opposite of what you would expect in a recovery program. Since then, I've released the Unlabeled Recovery Program, which is the next layer above sobriety. So if you're struggling with sobriety, maybe you're struggling to get there or you're struggling to stay there, Beyond Sober Masterclass, that's for you 100%. That's a perfect place to start. But if sobriety isn't really the problem and you're ready to heal from the underlying issues or conditions that may lead you back to drinking or initially led you there, 1111 or 111, then the Unlabeled Recovery Program is definitely for you. Through both of those programs, I've worked with hundreds of people one-on-one. And that means through the Beyond Sober program into the Unlabeled program. I have another program hopefully coming out this year that's going to be geared towards everyone with ADHD, neurodivergence, CPTSD, BPD, and all of those things. Hey, Mirza, what's up? I appreciate you. And it's going to be specifically designed not just around neurodivergence, but also for like kids. And I don't mean like certain portions of it. So I'm actively working on expanding, we're going to say alcoholic behavior, substance abuse, and trauma prevention or recovery into one massive platform that fits so many people. I've supported thousands of people. And so my work has been noticed all around the world. I was just written about in International Business Times, dude, for the Unlabeled Recovery Program and the Beyond Sober Masterclass. It's officially recognized in certain prisons in California, in the court system in California. We're actively attempting to get it into the school system. We got to tweak a few things before we, really push that. So there's so much that's happening. So for me, all I'm doing every day, including right now, is making sure that I'm delivering as much raw, honest, and absolute truth as you could possibly get all in one place. And so this right here will be on the podcast, beyondsoberpodcast.com. So if you can't watch it, you can listen. We also have the YouTube channel where I'll put a copy of this up there as well, so you could watch it over on YouTube. So my mission and my purpose is not to get people sober, is to get people as healthy and happy as possible. Happy, healthy people don't struggle with sobriety. They just don't. I've met people who drink for 30 years that only drink because they were miserable. Now they're happy and healthy, don't think about alcohol, don't crave alcohol, don't want alcohol, and could never imagine their life with alcohol in it. And that's not because I helped them get sober. Sobriety is the repercussion. It's the inevitable result of taking care of your health. That's just what happens. Heal your trauma, 100%, man. What do I mean by 111? So up here, you can see this. We got 120 amazing humans here. When we see 111, like earlier I saw 444. So if you're even remotely interested in the spiritual realm, when you see what's something called an angel number, that is a sign that you're in the right place, doing the right thing, saying the right thing, feeling the right thing, around the right people, moving in the correct direction or the applicable direction based on who you are. But they can mean different things. So we'll see. We just see 111. See what I'm saying? As I'm saying that, it pops into 111. That's the example. What I'm saying right now is incredibly important. And I saw that not accidentally. As a matter of fact, if you see it on the clock, there's a 1% chance that you'll see 3 numbers once a day. 1%. So if you're part of the 1% that sees those repeating numbers, it's time to start paying attention because most people don't see them. Their brains aren't in tune for that. But that also goes for 1111, 444, 555, all of those things, man. And plus, it's super fun. And one of the things that I like to do when I see that is I double tap the screen. Like this is my double tapping face. So I don't know if you can see the screen shaking, but this is my thumb shaking it. So that like bar up on the top, you can max it out. And I think it's like 80 likes or something like that. And then you'll get confetti that drops down from the screen. So if you've never seen that before, I encourage you to do that. The reason we do that is because your thumbs can literally save someone's life. I say things randomly and someone goes, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And I'm like, I had no idea I was going to say that. So we push this out to the FYP. People get a chance to hear things in a unique way that they may not have heard otherwise. And a lot of people have jumped into this specific community here and changed their life. And I'm just so humbled and appreciative that we as a collective and as a community are able to provide that environment for them to feel safe and want to take their lives actually seriously. How does a heavier drinker stop if they won't go to the hospital to detox? Stage 2. Got you. So I'm going to say this for my own ADHD state. I got about 10 minutes for you guys. I'm going to say it one more time. How does a heavier drinker stop if they won't go to the hospital to detox? Okay. So there's a few different things to understand when it comes to heavy drinking. There's heavy drinking, as in high tolerance. They drink a lot of alcohol. There's heavy drinking, as in they don't drink a massive amount of alcohol, but the proof, but the density of that alcohol, right? What is that? What is the word? The proof, what is it? The percentage of alcohol in what they drink is much higher. So someone could drink 30 beers a day and be actually drinking half a bottle of vodka with the actual liquor amount. So it depends on which way we're talking about heavy drinker. When most people are saying that, they're going someone who drinks a lot all the time, okay? To a point where if they stop drinking, they might have some issues. So this is first thing. The answer to this is the one I usually give is we have to practice harm reduction and we have to practice drinking less alcohol safely, okay? Just because someone is a heavy drinker doesn't mean they have an addiction. Just because they have a somewhat a dependency, as in a habitual circumstance that leads them to drink, doesn't mean they are fully addicted to alcohol and need it to live. You can practice this. I put this video out very recently. You could do exactly what an alcoholic does. You could drink the exact same way an alcoholic does. In the same way that, let's just say I drink 15 shots as an alcoholic that has an addiction, and you drink 15 shots as someone pretending like they have an addiction. It's actually worse for you because you don't have anything that is forcing you to drink one more. An addiction is an inability to say no. Physically, it feels impossible to say no because if I do, my life is actually in jeopardy. My systems may start shutting down. That's how I died. That's how my heart stopped. That's how I was throwing up all that stuff. This was 7 years ago. So heavy drinking without an addiction is an incredibly advantageous position because yes, you may have some withdrawals if you just quit cold turkey, probably will if you're a heavy drinker, but you're in a position where it's not necessarily the amount of alcohol that they're drinking, but their commitment to that amount of alcohol. That is actually what's going to save them. So without the addiction, they could practice drinking less alcohol by doing something called the single shot method. Let's just say they have 10 drinks a day. We'll call that heavy drinking. They're going to start practicing drinking 9 drinks a day for like the next week, 2 weeks, until 9 drinks becomes their new number. They're going to continue practicing. And I don't care what that means. They're pouring a beer out, getting rid of it, getting it to a neighbor, whatever. But they're going to practice drinking 9. And from there, once they get good at drinking 9, then they're going to practice drinking 8. Maybe that takes another 2 weeks. Maybe that takes 3 weeks. Maybe that only takes a week. Maybe they're really excited about their progress and they go from 9 down to, 7, right? Who knows? The point with this is as they practice drinking less alcohol, adding more water, eating better foods, and doing things like that, their body's going to start slowly adjusting. Now, one of the things that people talk to me about is like, I can't even get a buzz off 5 beers. Yeah, you have a problem with alcohol. You're not supposed to get a buzz. The point of alcohol is not to get drunk. It's not to black out. It's not to numb everything out. That just happens to be a societal push point that we're all attempting to reach because it has that capacity. I don't feel good. I just have a drink. That's not what alcohol is supposed to be used for. Remember, happy people get a different result than sad or upset people. So my point with this is he's not supposed to be catching a buzz after 7. He's not supposed to be catching a buzz off 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2 or 1. There's an issue because his body is now physically incapable of metabolizing alcohol efficiently. That's what a high tolerance is. Your dad that could drink 20, he's not stronger or better or healthier because he can handle more poison. His body has been damaged to such a degree that it's struggling to process it effectively. So one drink of ethanol, of gasoline, of neurotoxin, of poison doesn't affect them in the same way, which is another way of saying his body is lacking the capacity to realize he's imbibing a poison. Imagine that, dude. Imagine not knowing that what you're drinking is killing you. That's what alcohol does. That's exactly what it is. So it's not about catching a buzz. It is about actively practicing drinking less. So once he gets down to like 4, that's considered low risk drinking, which means at low risk of liver failure, cirrhosis, all those things. Now, you said that he's already got stage 2 disease, kidney disease. Yeah. So he's already at risk. His kidneys are already working extremely hard. His liver is already working extremely hard. And as a matter of fact, he's probably drinking for some pain management too. This is where things get dicey. He's still going to have to do the same thing. He could detox on his own, right? And in risk medical circumstances, or he could just do what needs to be done, which is seek medical assistance and have it done effectively. I work with people who are on gabapentin, who are on naltrexone, who are on Vivitrol, who are on all these different things. I understand the way these medications work, and I work with people strategically and specifically to not just get them away from alcohol, but to get them off of those medications over a longer period of time. So reducing the intake with intent is the safest way to do it. But I also want to say your liver is the filter of your body. It's constantly detoxing. In between every single sip he's taken, his body is trying to detox the alcohol out, but his liver is struggling because there's too much poison in it. If he's already struggling with kidney disease, and he's continuing to imbibe a carcinogen that's actively attempting to cause cancer to those kidneys, he's amplifying his circumstances, and he's putting himself in a much, much, much riskier state of being. Now, naltrexone has been such a blessing. Dude, Aaron, I love that, bro. I absolutely love that. I'm telling you this. I work with people, or have worked with people. Naltrexone didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, they're still drinking 14 drinks a day, and they're taking 2 pills of naltrexone, not doing anything. They have gabapentin too, another anti-anxiety. Another thing, they're on 3 different medications, all prescribed by the doctor in the exact amounts, still drinking. I love that you got the results of naltrexone, dude. That is amazing. And the trippy part is, depending on how much alcohol you drink, the amount of alcohol in your body may overwrite the ailments that naltrexone is supposed to provide. Some people just don't have a craving for alcohol at all, so they're able to just stop drinking when they take naltrexone. Other people get really, really sick. And it's because they get sick every time they take a drink that they go like, I don't want alcohol at all. So naturally their body tries to, deter them from having another drink. That's cool too. Not as fun. Then there's the other people where it literally doesn't do anything to them, to where their buzz outweighs their dizziness. Their intoxication outweighs the sickness that would normally make them stop. I know for a fact that if I tried naltrexone when I was a high-functioning alcoholic, it wouldn't have done anything. Nothing. I'd have drank right through that. You think I'm going to get sick? I'll go throw up and then go have another drink. You think I'm going to waste my alcohol? What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. That's never going to happen. As a matter of fact, I'd be upset at the doctor because you're making my medicine less enjoyable. Like, I need my medicine to live. Remember, alcohol was my medicine. So if you're giving me a pill that makes me want my medicine less, you are messing with my entire world. Even though I know that it's a good thing that I drink less alcohol, I'm still going to be pissed. And I may even drink one more out of spite for having naltrexone. Dead serious. That's how hardcore the addictions are, dude. How long do you sober? I'm not sober, bro. I can't be sober from something I don't drink, don't consume, and will never have. I can tell you I haven't consumed alcohol since July 11th, 2017. So that's this July will be 7 years, which is really, really cool. I don't do drugs. I rarely even take medications. I don't take ibuprofen. I don't do anything like that. When I first got out of the hospital, they put me on like 19 pills though, not narcotics. They gave me baclofen and then 18 other like vitamins and minerals and nutrients and stuff like that. Now I just get all my minerals and stuff through patches like this. Actually have them on both sides this time. Double whammy. That way all day long I get all the additional, resources that my body needs. Super dope. Hey, from Chicago, sober for 3 months. Dude, what's up, bro? Hey, I'm in Michigan, man. I'm new out here. I just moved to Portage, bro, and I hear that Chicago is about 2 hours away from here. Someone was telling me about the Palm. I guess I'm down here. You guys are up here. I don't know. Am I a Michigan gangster? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, dude. Regardless, dude, I'm so stoked that you're sober for 3 months, man. My question to you is, are you the same person though? Are you the same dude? You same person? Just not drinking? That sucks, bro. Mm. Remember, if we're the same person, just not drinking, then we're the same person that might start drinking. Let me say this again. If we are the same person, just not drinking, then we are the same person that might start drinking. You can't just reach a state of sobriety and go, oh, everything's good. That's not how it works. You're the same dude, same person. If what you're doing isn't helping you get stronger, build resilience, transform, focus forward, if it literally elevate your state of life, helping you literally disassociate from your own reflection going, damn, do I even recognize you? Then all we're doing is taking a break. Sobriety is dope, bro. But if we're not using sobriety to recover from the reasons we may want to drink, then all we're doing is waiting for a reason to drink. If we're not using our state of sobriety to recover into someone that doesn't want to drink, then we're using our sobriety to give ourselves a reason to drink. That's it. We're just waiting for another reason. Tell you what, 3 hats, 2 hats. Oh, it was 2 hats. I normally have 2 hats on. That's why I said that. That was my autonomic system. Sobriety is stupid unless you're using it to improve your quality of life. Your life isn't better because you're sober. It's just not bad because you're not drinking. That's it. That's it. Sobriety, most people on the planet are sober. They all suck too because they don't know how to be happy. Sobriety is a destination. Recovery is a practice. Sobriety is easy. I'm going to say this. Sobriety only takes 4 days. If you could hold on for 4 days, you're just as sober as I am. I have 0 alcohol in my body. At 4 days, you also have 0 alcohol in your body. I'm not more sober than you, but I am more recovered. How can I be more recovered? Is it just because? Do I still use Thrive? You mean this right here? But you want to do? Yeah, I thrive all day, dude. My point with this is I've spent 7 years actively evolving, changing my behaviors, changing my thoughts, my emotions, my actions, my environment, the people I'm around, all of the things. Not because there was something wrong. It's because I want to feel more right. Listen to what I'm saying. It's not because I had a problem. It's because I want to feel stronger. What are we working towards? Nobody cares that you're not hitting somebody in the face, but we do care that you are hugging the people that you see. We do care how you're speaking to yourself. No one's going to sit here and go like, hey, Jim Bob over here, tell you what, guess how many people he didn't hit in the face today, including himself. No one cares. But when someone goes like, dude, he held 3 doors open for 3 random people, dude. He said like 25 affirmations today. He cooked himself breakfast. Do you know what he did for himself today? He also helped these people over here, man, selflessly. Asked for nothing in return. Have you seen how happy that dude is lately? God damn it, I love it. I don't even have to worry about him because he's taking care of himself. That's amazing. That is what's attractive. And when we start focusing in that area and going, what am I working towards instead of what am I trying to get away from? Then we start to see these physiological and neurological shifts in our brain and body that help us feel unfucking stoppable. These are facts. This is why some of the most powerful people, some of the most successful people you've ever heard of, may ever meet, have all struggled with some type of dependency in their life. Because it takes a massive dedication and commitment to maintain an addiction, to maintain alcoholic behavior, to maintain pain, to maintain survival. Do you know how much tenacity it takes to struggle that way? As a matter of fact, here's the proof. I bet you can't name one person that's willing to go through your life. I bet you can't find, go look at your neighbors. Do you think they have what it takes to live your life, to survive what you have? Do you think they would choose that if they had the option? With their cushy life over there, with their mere existence, you're telling me that if they had the option, and you can guarantee they'd be twice as happy, that they'd be willing to do what you've done for yourself, Annie? Hang on, I got this weird thing. Do you think they'd be able to do that? They probably wouldn't. They definitely would not do that. And that's because you've survived things most people Quit. You've done things most people could never imagine themselves doing. So what we want to do is recognize our strengths, what we've struggled through, and what we're thriving towards, and transmute that pain into purpose. And that's what I help you do. Whether that's the Beyond Sober Masterclass, the Unlabeled Recovery Program, coaching with me one-on-one, or it's just listening to a podcast or watching me on TikTok like this. My point with this is you are way stronger than you think. You're way further than you think. You are far more powerful than you could ever possibly imagine. But until you give yourself permission to see that, you're always going to find reasons why that's not true. You get good at anything you practice. So let's start practicing finding reasons why we're the best. Facts. With that said, I just got this notification on TikTok wanting me to verify that I was a person. So I think I'm going to roll out right now because I don't know what that means. Dude, connect with me. Feel free to hit the link in my bio. You'll see it's CodyRayne.com, KOHDIRAYNE.com, dude. Send me a message. I've got these really cool systems right now that I'm able to like see everybody that comes through, respond directly to messages, all kinds of new stuff that I'm using just to stay in contact and provide value. I now have like chatbots and all these cool things that can actually send you TikTok videos that I've made based on what you're saying. So you may say, hey, do you have a video about relapse? And I'd be like, boom, here you go. Brrr, here's all the videos I've ever made about relapse. New blogs are coming out, man. I have another article coming out. So much madness is just happening. And I'm so excited. Not to mention, keep in mind, I'm super duper duper busy. But why? It's because my calendar is open, boo-boo. That means that if you want to chat with me for 30 minutes at no charge and just connect, maybe you just want to fan out and go like, oh my God, it's really you. It's not a robot. It's not an animatron. You just want to say, hey, for 30 minutes, dude, jump on the calendar. If you're struggling with sobriety or recovery, your mental health, physical health, alcoholism, all the things that we talk about, or you just have some questions about what the best direction for you is, my calendar is open, dude. Grab 30 minutes, dude. I'm not going to sit here and judge you and try and make you feel bad. If you could use my support, whether that's with a 30-minute conversation on Zoom, which is recorded for your pleasure, summarized and sent back to you, or you just want to jump in the program and you have a couple questions for me, maybe you want to work with me, hire me as your coach or something like that, jump on the calendar, dude. You're more than welcome. Plus, I'd love to meet you. One of the coolest things, dude, is literally USA Today was like, what do you mean your calendar is open to the public? Like, yeah, dude, they got questions. I got answers. They're like, people don't do that. Well, I do. So I'm encouraging you to take action on that if you would like to have a conversation. No pressure. No one's going to see it. It's completely anonymous and it's for you. With that said, I love you. Hit the link in my bio. Come connect with me. Let's stay in contact. And if you want to get access to that recovery guide, it's totally free. I'm sending out 2 weeks of accountability personally to everyone that shares their information on the website. That way we could stay connected. I could answer your questions. I could help you not just get sober, but get way beyond sober. With that said, I'm going to roll out. I love you. You're amazing. I appreciate you. I will see you soon. And thank you for being exactly who you are. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be who I am. On that note, just like my mother always says, she's moving to Ohio, by the way. Take care of you, okay? Okie dokie? You take care of you. I'm going to take care of me. All right. Okay. All right. I love you. Take care of you.